What is the sliding filament theory? The sliding filament theory is the mechanism by which muscles are thought to contract at a cellular level. A good understanding of the skeletal muscle structure is useful when learning how the sliding filament theory works. At a very basic level, however, each muscle fiber is made up of smaller fibers called the myofibrils. These contain even smaller structures called actin and myosin filaments. These filaments slide in and out between each other to form a muscle contraction, hence called the sliding filament theory. This diagram shows part of a myofibril called the sarcomere. This is the smallest unit of a skeletal muscle that can contract. Sarcomeres repeat themselves over and over along the length of the myofibril. These are all the muscle structures involved. The myofibril, a cylindrical organelle running the length of the muscle fiber containing actin and myosin filaments. The sarcomere is the functional unit of the myofibril divided into I, A, and H bands. The actin is a thin, contractile protein filament containing active or binding sites. The myosin is a thick contractile protein filament with protrusions known as myosin heads. The tropomyosin is an actin binding protein that regulates muscle contraction. The troponin is a complex of 3 proteins attached to the tropomyosin. When all of the sarcomeres in a muscle fiber shorten, the fiber contracts. A muscle fiber either contracts fully or it doesn't contract at all. The number of fibers that contract determines the strength of the muscular force. When more fibers contract at the same time, the force is greater. Muscles cannot contract on their own. They need a stimulus from a nerve cell to tell them to contract. Let's say you decide to raise your hand in class, right? Your brain sends electrical messages to nerve cells called the motor neurons in your arm and shoulders. The motor neurons in turn stimulate muscle fibers in your arm and shoulders to contract, causing your arm to rise. According to the sliding filament theory, a muscle fiber contracts when myosin filaments pull actin filaments closer together and thus shorten sarcomeres within a fiber. When all the sarcomeres in a muscle fiber shorten, the fiber contracts.